Welcome to MMA Dogs. My name is Hector, and I want to thank you for tuning in. A big thank you to all of our clients, whether you're a first time or whether you've been with us, down with us for the longest time. We appreciate all of you guys. And if you're tuning in and you're watching this after, feel free to check out our website, MMA DAWGS. We're coming off our biggest night yet, and so we are looking forward to continuing the success. So let's dive right into UFC 174. There's some fights on here that, man, I'm just thinking to myself, wow, really, in the UFC? But, that's going to happen, and it's an opportunity to maybe find some prospects, maybe see, somebody will come along that we really like, and we can talk about them. So let's dive right into the first fight of the night. We have Shockley versus Saggo. With this one, do not bet. Too many question marks in this fight. And after watching these two guys fight, it's just wrestling versus jiu-jitsu, really. Wrestling versus jiu-jitsu. And Saggo is the guy with the good jiu-jitsu. Shockley is the one who has a good wrestling. Shockley has faced better opposition. And just watching these two guys, when they get into the scrambles, and they probably will end up getting into scrambles, I believe Shockley will have an edge. But like I said, it's a do not bet. I wouldn't put anything on it. I wouldn't put a thing on it. So Shockley for the win, but big old do not bet. There's plenty of other opportunities to get this fight. Okay, here we go. Now this is an interesting one right here. It's Delorme taking on Tanaka. So Tanaka, we have a guy who is very fast. He's a very exciting prospect. And a lot of times when guys fight in an exciting way, it creates opportunities for their opposition. So when they, for example, in an exchange, striking exchange or in a scramble, they might leave a hole. So it's a bit wild. Tanaka's a bit wild for my liking, especially for a bet. Especially since it's, we haven't seen him in the UFC. So this fight is a total do not bet. I see things in Tanaka that I like. He's got very good grappling. But like I said, he's a bit wild making his debut. I would completely pass on this fight. With Delorme, he's underrated. We don't really think, most people don't really think of Delorme or bring him up in conversation or anything. He's very scrappy though, and he's got a very good ground game, very underrated ground game. He's going to be in his home country. He's going to have a big size advantage. So I do favor Delorme here, but it's a do not bet with so many other opportunities, so many other fights. Why push it? So Delorme for the win, do not bet. Next one is Johnson versus Bang. With this fight, Bang, he's got decent stand up. I wouldn't call it like good or anything. It's just decent because he does have knockout power. So if you take the knockout power away, this guy, I don't know where he would be, but just the knockout power, and that's pretty much it. He's going to be headhunting the whole fight. And with Johnson, we got a guy who's well rounded, decent stand up. He's got the speed advantage. He's a better grappler. So he's got a lot of things his way. Home country, trains at TriStar. But, his kryptonite is his chin. He's got a chin problem, his broken jaw, and Bang, that's what he does. So last thing we need is to invest money in a guy like Johnson, and then Bang goes out there and boom, knocks him out. And oh, wow, how did we not see that? So do not bet, guys. I don't recommend a bet on it. Even if Johnson wins, so what? There's other opportunities, and that's it. Now this fight I'm excited for. Easton versus Jabouin. Jabouin here may have a slight stand-up edge. Because at this point Jabouin is on his way down. Easton is still on his way up despite his losses. So it's a very it's like a mindfuck almost. This guy keeps losing, so how can he be on his way up? But he's getting great experience against some of these guys. TJ Dillashaw. He's fighting the best. And Jabouin, he's at home, so he may have the judges, but he does not have age in his corner. He's 35. He does have a chin problem, so that's not good when you're going up against a guy. Easton's very powerful. He's got the grappling edge. He's very durable. He's been, like I said, been fighting the best. He's got his back against the wall. He's got to win this fight. So, he's going to be in shape, having one of the best camps he's had, and it's going to be a good fight for him. So I love Easton here. I like Easton to. I can see Easton knocking him out, but not enough to play a prop on it. So because I can see Easton getting the decision too. So Easton for the win for sure, and he will be a 3-star pick. Now moving up, we got a girl fight. So we got Phillips against Letourne, however you want to pronounce it. So here we have a grappler versus striker. So Phillips, she's got good wrestling, good ground and pound, but she's fought some girls that are just not very good. She does train with Raquel Peña, which is huge in my opinion. And but the problem is she's taking this fight on short notice. So, oh man, that's a tough one. And with Letourne, she's got good stand-up, very good stand-up, lacks takedown defense, but she does train at TriStar, so we can't count her out. Letourne should get taken down in this fight. And she's a 125-pounder, so Phillips is going to have a size advantage. I like Phillips for the win, but do not bet with other opportunities and more opportunities coming up. We've got to pass on it. Sarafian against Kunimoto. Now, Kunimoto here, I'm looking for reasons, as to why this guy is, dangerous or what he's doing in the UFC. But, he made his UFC debut 5 months ago. Looked bad. He won via DQ in Asia. He fought in Asia, not very far from home. Now he's traveling across. He's traveling across and going into Canada, fighting a guy who is now at the weight class he should have been fighting at. He's only 5'9", and Sarafian, took some time off after his last fight to figure out, if he can make the cut to 170, and he's made the test cut, which is very smart on his behalf. Made the weight, and this is like I said, the division he should be fighting at. He needs to have self-control with his diet. He's a professional athlete, so he just needs to get that in line. And in my opinion here, Sarafian beats Kunimoto anywhere he wants. He should get the finish. If he doesn't, I'll be surprised, but he should win this fight. And I love Sarafian here. So Sarafian, 3-star pick. And let's move right along here. Get going to the main event, the pay-per-view. Ryan Jimmo against Ovince Saint Preux. Now, I took a look at my history with these guys. It's one of the things that I look at, and I'm 9-0 predicting these two guys' fights. So whether they're going to win or lose, I predict it. And so this will be the 10th one that I'm predicting. And at first, I thought to myself, oh, Saint Preux. But as I refresh my mind on it, oh man, this is a very, very interesting fight here. Saint Preux is getting a ton of attention from the betting public, from everyone, because of his very sick submission on his own pay-per-view against Nikita Krylov. But Nikita Krylov, God, man, that guy stinks. And we bet Saint Preux on that one. I liked him a lot there, so I pulled the trigger on him. And we won, obviously. But, in this fight, Saint Preux is going to need to work the takedowns, work the wrestling, get control the fight. It's too close to bet. In my opinion, it's too close to bet. And with Jimmo, he's having his second full camp at Power MMA. He's embraced his karate background again, entering some karate tournaments, and he's training over there with CB Dalloway and Ryan Bader, Aaron Simpson. And so he's getting the wrestling training that he needs at Power, or at least getting the takedown defense, Maybe he doesn't need to embrace the whole game, but just the takedown defense. And but the problem is he hasn't beat a fighter of significance in the UFC. So, do not bet. I mean, first I could see how Ovince Saint Preux, could pull it off, being a younger, having a younger career in MMA, having the ability to improve more. But I got to go with my gut. I got to go with Ryan Jimmo here. Ryan Jimmo for the slight upset. But guys, I do not bet. I wouldn't even throw him in for fun. Not anything. I wouldn't bet anything on this. Just like the other fights that I've been talking about. I'm not. You guys will see it's a very conservative card because there's going to be better opportunities for us. So Jimmo for the slight upset, but do not bet. Now this next fight I'm very interested in. Extremely interested in. It's Schaub versus Arlovski. Now with Arlovski, he's making his return, and there's going to be some public that bets on him that he shouldn't be betting, first of all, and then Arlovski's not the fighter that he once was. He's seen better days. He will need to avoid getting taken down and fight a near perfect stand-up fight to even win this fight. And with Schaub, it's his fight to win or lose. It's a pivotal step in his career here. I expect him to be prepared for this fight, and he will win this fight. I expect him to get the takedown. Arlovski's going to have to deal with the pressure of getting taken down, and I expect Schaub to win a decision. Actually, he has been training with the Gracie brothers in Redondo Beach over there, but with Schaub, his chin is a problem, and if Arlovski lands a punch and knocks him out, god dang, So, but I do favor Schaub after, like I said, I really like him here after watching all the footage in the fights and just adjustments that he's made since moving to LA. I like him here to fight very smart, a very intelligent fight out of Schaub. Hopefully he gets the finish because that's something that the UFC obviously looks for. And so I'm hoping, because I expect him to stick to his game plan, that he gets the finish. And so yeah, Schaub for the win. We'll put a tiny bet on him. It's not going to make the 3-star, 4-star, but we'll put a little something on him because of that pressure that he's going to apply on the takedown, and very careful on the feet. So that's it for that. Now, a very similar situation here in Bader versus Fei Zhao. Bader, he's going to have a big-time cardio and wrestling edge. His stand-up is improving, and he's going to need to wrestle and ground and pound. Survive the first round and look for the knockout TKO in the second and third round. Bader, chin is a problem with him, though. With Fei Zhao, he's got big knockout power. He needs to get the knockout in round 1 because by round 2 he's going to be gassed. And it's a big trip for him, from Brazil to Canada. It's a huge trip. So I like Bader here. Do not bet with that chin. And in MacDonald versus Woodley, Woodley has convinced himself that he will be the champ. He's just convinced himself. That's a very dangerous guy to bet against. He's very explosive, very powerful. I've made money off of him, have picked him during with the Carlos Condit fight, for example. But he slows down big time after round 1. And if he starts pacing himself, it's just a different fighter. So with MacDonald, he's a very smart person, which makes him a very smart fighter. He's focused at TriStar. The focus is on him now that the GSP's taking a break. And he should do enough to avoid getting knocked out. And he should take over in round 2 and 3 with his jab and keeping the distance. So I like Rory here. I'm not going to get a bet against Woodley. I'm not going to bet against Woodley here. And I'm not going to make a bet on MacDonald. So do not bet. And then right over to the main event, Ali Bagautinov. Very well rounded. He got it tough. He's very tough with a big heart. We saw that in his debut. But what did we see also in his debut? We saw some flaws there, and obviously it was a tough fight for him to go down to Brazil and all yada yada and stuff like that. But he does train at Greg Jackson's camp, so that's a good thing he's got going for him. But it's too much for him right now. I think maybe a few more fights. The flyweight division is a bit thin, so I can see why they put him up there. He deserves it, but it's too much for him right now. And with Johnson, Mighty Mouse, better everywhere. He's got recent finishes. Recently he's been finishing his opponents. Just looking over my notes here. including one of them, Joseph Benavidez, which is huge. You know, Moraga, he's a tough guy too, finished him. So I really like Johnson here. I really like him a lot, and so he'll be a 3-star bet. So unfortunately, there's no 5-star bets. I wish there was. I wish there were. We're not going to push it. 4-star bets, none either. I don't want to push it. And there will be some 3-star bets: Johnson, Sarafian, and Easton. Now I'll put them together here to make a nice little profit here. You know, God willing, if all the bets come through here and everybody does what they're supposed to do. So Demetrious Johnson at -660, Sarafian at -435, and Easton at -200. That gives us +112, 1 unit to win 1.12. So guys, very conservative for this card, okay? Moving along the second bet, Sarafian plus Easton gives us -118, 1 unit to win 0.85. Demetrious Johnson and the over 1.5 rounds on Bader versus Feijao. That gives us, that's priced at -125. So the over on Bader Feijao, the over is 1.5 rounds, plus Demetrious Johnson, like I said, that's +107. Those two parlay together, +107. Half a unit to win 0.54. Sarafian plus the over 1.5 rounds on Schaub and Arlovski. That's priced at -140. It gives us +111, +111. 0.5 units to win 0.56. Demetrious Johnson in the over on Schaub versus Arlovski. That gives us -103, half a unit to win 0.49. Demetrious Johnson and the under on under 2.5 rounds on Sarafian and Kunimoto. That gives us +107, half a unit to win 0.54. And Demetrious Johnson plus Schaub at -160 gives us -115, 1 unit to win 0.87. So in total, we have 5 units that we're risking. So conservative to win 4.97. So that wraps it up. Like I said, God willing, all these guys do what they're supposed to do and win their fights. And, I hope to talk to you guys real soon. Check out the website, and you guys have a great weekend.